there, friends. My name is Jess, and welcome to Kissed by Bliss. Soulful radiance for your everyday flow. Burning the candle at both ends, yet yearning to put the spark back in your heart? You've just found your match. Here on Kissed by Bliss, we're passionate about nurturing your entire being, cultivating true happiness, and having those raw, real conversations that resonate with real-life moments. In each episode, we'll journey through the mind, body, and soul to ignite your inner fire and reveal your most radiant self. Together, we'll unlock the secrets to living a life that's both prosperous and soul-satisfying. So, if you're buckled up and ready to go, Kissed by Bliss starts now. Hello, beautifuls, and welcome back to another episode of Kissed by Bliss. I'm your host, Jessica Suzanne. Today's episode is a little different from our norm, and actually, it's going to be my last public episode here on YouTube. You know, I decided to walk away from social media back in August of 2024, so last year. And today I want to share a little bit about that with you because I know so many of us, right, have this love, not so love relationship with social media. And while this decision was the right decision, it definitely came with a lot of emotions. And so my hopes are that by sharing my story of letting it go, that it can bring you more peace and clarity within your own journey, because that is always my intention. So before we dive in, I just want to make something crystal clear. This isn't about judging anybody who's using social media. And it's definitely not about trying to convince anybody to remove themselves from social media. I completely understand its benefits. You know, connecting long-distance relationships, building businesses, sharing important information, creating communities. You know, a lot of people are using these platforms to shine a light and awaken others. And we need these way showers, right? And so for me, it served a very beautiful purpose in my life. But I also knew it was time to let go, because we also need people exploring different paths, blazing different trails in different territories, and sharing what it's like on the other side. There's no wrong or right here, just our own alignment, and that looks different for each of us. So whether you're a social media lover, feeling conflicted about your usage, or considering a digital detox, I hope that there is something inside my story that speaks to your heart today. Let me take you back to the moment everything shifted for me. I had been feeling this subtle but growing discomfort with my social media presence. On the surface, like it always does, right? Everything looked fine. I was connecting with amazing people, sharing content I believed in, building my platform. But beneath, something always felt off. I started noticing how my thoughts were constantly being pulled toward what I should post next, how that post will look, what I will say. You know, I'd be having a beautiful moment, walking on the beach, connecting with a friend, experiencing something meaningful, And instead of being fully present, a part of my mind was already composing the caption, planning the angle, thinking about how to package this moment for others to see. And honestly, it was like living my life through a filter. Not just Instagram filters, but filtering my entire experience through the lens of how my life will look for the outside world. Then one day, I received what I can only describe as a divine download, and I was shown a higher perspective of what social media was really doing. Not just to me, but to our collective consciousness. I saw how it was quietly dimming my light, lowering my vibration, and pulling me away from my deepest purpose. The very next morning, I woke up with absolute clarity, and I began deleting every channel. I started with my Facebook page first, without hesitation. And mind you, at this time, I was also getting a new phone number, which brought up this fear, right, of, oh my gosh, if I delete my social media and change my number, how is anyone going to be able to reach me? And then I realized that was exactly the point. I was reclaiming my energy, my time, and my attention. And within 24 hours, I had deleted everything. Instagram, LinkedIn, every piece of content I had ever posted or created. And I started completely fresh. And I can honestly say it was one of the best decisions I have ever made. For myself, for my future, and for the people I'm here to serve. Because what could I ever possibly post on Instagram that would be more inspirational than removing myself from the platform altogether? This was my true act of taking back my power. And if I can play any part in that awakening for others, I am deeply, deeply honored. So what was it exactly that shifted my perspective so dramatically? Well, it came down to understanding the relationship between social media and my vibrational frequency. You know, my goal in life is to reach the highest vibration possible. Because this is, after all, how we align to our highest life path possible. As within, so without. And when I got brutally honest with myself, I had to acknowledge that social media was consistently bringing my vibration down. Through comparison, through the pressure to post, this feeling that I needed to be present, that I needed to present myself in a certain way. You see, social media was creating for me what psychologists call cognitive dissonance. It's that uncomfortable feeling when we hold two contradicting beliefs. We know it doesn't always feel good to use it, yet we continue because we think it's necessary or beneficial to our life somehow. And this internal conflict alone creates energetic static in our vibration. Then there's this like constant bombardment of different opinions, perspectives, and information. Some true, some false, some resonant, some not, right? But we spend so much mental energy looking at everyone else's opinions, at everyone else's lives, trying to decipher what's worth our attention, instead of turning inward to find what lights up our own soul. And I began to realize what social media has done to the human spirit. Instead of dancing in fields of flowers, we're dancing on an app. Instead of smelling the roses, we're reading quotes on rose-covered images. Instead of sharing our energy with people we love in our immediate world, we're dispersing it across a sea of people, many of whom carry the densest energies on the entire planet. And I just got to thinking, how did we arrive at a world where our own sense of worth has become entangled with algorithms, where our value seems measured by the number of likes and followers we get, instead of by the love and the kindness and the way we show up for the people in our physical lives. I truly believe that our divine spark, that unique part of you, that authentic, beautiful piece of you that we all have, isn't meant to be shared with the entire world. It's meant to be shared with our world, with those we can truly connect with and impact in meaningful ways. And while, yes, some of these people are on social media, I had to really weigh my options and look at, the risk reward, right? Was connecting with 10,000 people online, some who are for me, most who are not, worth the internal depletion that social media left me with? Was I willing to risk my own inner peace for other people's outer approval? And for me, when I got real about that simple question, leaving it behind became easy. So what does life look like now on the other side of social media? Well, it's like I'm living in a whole new world. My thoughts are incredibly clear. Spiritual downloads come with ease. My communication is more direct and authentic. My intuition has heightened dramatically. I'm happier, more at peace, more confident. I have fewer intrusive thoughts, less judgment, more compassion, more patience. My mind has been freed up with so much space. And one of the most beautiful shifts is how I connect with others in the real world. You know, when you meet someone without the shadow of social media, they get to know you for who you really are. Not your online persona, not who you were yesterday, last year, or even who you're going to be next year. They get to know you for the authentic you standing right in front of them. I mean, think about it, right? I mean, those photos from 3 years ago, or even a week ago, like, do they honestly represent who you are in this moment? We're constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. We're constantly up-leveling. Yet social media keeps us tethered to our past selves, while simultaneously making us anxious about our presentation and how we will look and be perceived by others. It's a mind loop, really, that prevents us from being fully present. And so after saying goodbye to social media, there's less stress, less to do, less to say, less to be, less to distract me from what's right in front of me. That rhymed. Okay. And honestly, just this, like I'm so happy and content creating content like this that fills my heart and fills my soul and allows me to share in deeper ways with you. You know, this is my soul's expression. This is my passion. And it's meant for you who are watching this. You know, not the entire world. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Now I understand that completely leaving social media isn't always realistic or even desirable for everyone. Some of you may run businesses on these platforms. You know, a lot of you are maintaining meaningful connections with family across distances. Some genuinely enjoy certain aspects of social media. I mean, heck, I'd be fooling myself if I said I didn't miss watching cute babies dance and giggle for 5 hours straight. So if that's you, I get it. But I want to give you a few questions to consider that might help you to create a healthier relationship with these digital spaces. And so, number 1, how do you feel immediately after using social media? Energized or drained? Number 2, does your time on these platforms align with your highest values and purpose? Number 3, are you creating content from a place of authentic expression or from fear, comparison, or obligation? Number 4, could you set boundaries that better serve you? You know, having specific times for checking platforms or, you know, days that you take completely away or off of social media. Number 5, which platforms genuinely add value to your life? And which ones could you let go of? And so this isn't about, making a dramatic exit, unless that's what calls to you. This is about consciously choosing your relationship with these tools rather than letting them choose for you, right? And so if you're feeling that pull to disconnect but are unsure how, just start small, like everything else, right? Maybe try a weekend digital detox. And if you do that, notice how you feel, what comes up, and most importantly, what you reach for instead. Because there's incredible information within this experience, right? Is to really become aware of who you are outside of these external things that you're putting your attention into. Okay, so now I want to get into something really exciting, my new passion project, my new baby, a literal representation of my soul's journey. So in stepping away from social media, this has actually deepened my commitment to creating meaningful connection and content that you're seeing right now through the Kissed by Bliss Sanctuary. And so this is a space where women can receive real support around real life in real time. We're healing, we're growing, we're bonding, we're addressing what it means to be truly liberated in every area of life. In our minds, in our bodies, in our relationships, in our work, finances, health, spiritual expansion. You name it, we support it. This is where I'm going to be channeling all of my energy moving forward. I am so excited. As you can see, I can hardly stop smiling. This has been such a long time coming, but not really a long time coming, right? It's divine timing and it's here now. And I'm so excited to welcome you in and to help you live a life of freedom in your present moment. Okay? Everything within the Kissed by Bliss Sanctuary is simple, everyday tools that fit into your everyday life, making your freedom totally doable. We're going to be hosting live circles where we can look into each other's eyes and feel each other's energy and create a truly unique and uplifting sisterhood starting right now. And so if this calls to your heart, I invite you to learn more at kissedbybliss.com. That's KISSD by bliss.com. As we conclude this final YouTube episode, I want to share something from my heart to yours. We're living in a time of tremendous awakening. Each of us is feeling that stirring, that knowing that there's something more than the digital world of endless scrolling and superficial connection. And just you being here today, listening to this message, is no accident. Every great shift began with individuals brave enough to choose a different path. by reclaiming our attention, our energy, and our authentic presence, we're participating in a quiet revolution, a return to what truly matters. When one woman rises, we all rise together. Thank you so much for joining me alongside this journey. I cannot wait to connect with you inside our brand new Kissed by Bliss Sanctuary. Sending love, hugs, and high vibes. I will talk to you soon. Mwah! I'm Jess, and thank you for tuning in to Kissed by Bliss. Soulful radiance for your everyday flow. Airing every second and fourth week at 8:30 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. Until next time, keep shining bright. It's the tiny sparks of self-love today that reveal your most radiant self tomorrow. Ready to kickstart your Kissed by Bliss adventure? Hop on over to kissedbybliss.com. That's KISSD by bliss.com for exclusive tools and resources to uplift your spirit and thrive in your everyday life. Sending love, hugs, and high vibes today and always.